perfect or past perfect. So this form is what you have usually after the form of the verb to have. For instance, if you have, I work every day. I worked yesterday. And you have, I have worked today. Why this is your present tense? Why this expresses simple present? This express simple past. And this expresses present perfect. So this form is not the past form that we have in your second phase here, but what we have in the third phase, which is the past participle. So in case you are dealing with verbs that do not have the same form of past and past participle, you are going to use the past participle form and not just the past form. For instance, if you have, let's say you have the word eat, ate, and eaten. So the form you are going to use in this number 3 after the form of the verb to have is the past participle form and not the past form. It would be wrong to say I have ate or I have eat. Rather, what you have is what? I have what? Eaten. I also explained that inflectional bound morpheme also manifests in gender, that it can take a masculine noun into becoming what? Feminine noun. For instance, if you have your prophet plus the addition of ESS, you can have what? Prophetess. It has changed. If you also have widow plus addition of ER, it changes it to what? Widower. The last one is degree. That is, when inflectional bound morpheme is added to a root or base, it changes the form of an adjective or adverb from the positive to comparative and superlative form. A good example of that is when you have I changing to what? Higher. Changing to what again? Highest. The addition of ER, EST here is what we call inflectional ending. And when that is added, it changes the degree of the existing words, of the base words. So these are the 4 ways in which inflectional bound morpheme can operate or can work or can manifest. We mentioned replacive morpheme and we mentioned zero morpheme yesterday, which are also forms of inflectional bound morpheme. Okay? Right, and we are going to consider that today. You can write. Replacive morpheme is a type of bound morpheme. Replacive morpheme is a type of bound morpheme. In which grammatical meanings is expressed by replacing a letter or more, with another in a word. Just as the name implies, replacive morpheme. Say replacive morpheme. So unlike your inflectional morpheme that has inflectional ending, replacive morpheme is replacing a letter or two in the base word. Take for instance, if we have the conjugation of work, worked, and worked in present, past, and past participle, we can have the same permutation or conjugation in words such as give. We can have inflectional ending here. It would be wrong to add d or ed to form the past and past participle of this word. Instead, we employ the principle of what? Replacive morpheme. Say replacive morpheme. So, by so doing, a letter or two is replaced by another letter, and that gives us a sense of irregularity. And that brings us to the concept of irregular verb. So, and irregular verbs are those verbs that form their past and past participle without adding d or ed. Rather, they form it in its distinct form, either by replacive morpheme or by zero morpheme. So in this case, we are going to replace this I with a. That gives all the parts of give. And here we are going to have what? Given. We have other example. Break changes to what? And from there we have what? Broken. All right, who can give me similar examples? Speak. All right, we have speak, spoke, spoken. Thank you. Speak, spoke, spoken. What did you say? All right, write, wrote, written. All right, rise, rose, risen. All right, drive. We also have drive, drove, driven. All right, all of these are example of replacive morphemes. Are we together? All right, yeah, let me have you up. You're dozing off. You can stand up. What is your name? Grace. Yes, manifest your name. All right, so we are going to continue. All right, in certain words, let's say when we leave this aspect of verb, we can also have the manifestation of replacive morpheme in nouns. And that reflects in number of noun. We can have a singular noun changing to a plural noun in words such as man, changing to what? Men. The letter E has substituted letter A. We have the word woman, changing to what? Women. Yeah, the actual pronunciation is women, okay? Yes, is women. So when we get to spoken English, we'll do more about that. So what you have is women, okay? We can have other examples like foot changing to what? We can have tooth changing to what? We can have goose changing to what? What other examples do we have? Anyone? All right, we can have mouse changing to mice. We can have louse changing to what? Lice. These are replacive morphemes. They also reflect in tense or number. They reflect in tense. They also reflect in numbers, in noun. Replacive morpheme. We move to the next one. Zero morpheme. In zero morpheme, inflection taking place is not a visible manifestation. It's not a visible manifestation. Rather, the forms of the verb remains the same even while inflection has taken place. The form of the verb remains the same even when inflection has taken place. All right, so we have three dispensations here. We have three possibilities. Are we together? All right, listen up. Did you get that? All right. So what we are saying here, in inflectional bound morpheme, you have inclusion of inflectional ending into the base word, usually D or ED, in order to change the tense of a verb. You also have the addition of S or ES and more in order to change the form of a word from singular to plural. In replacive morpheme, a letter or two is replaced by another letter in order to form the past and past participle. But in zero morpheme, the form of the verb remains the same, even while inflection has taken place. I hope you understand this. So what we are going to have is, let's begin, present, past, and what? Past participle. So in words such as set, what class of word is this, everyone? What class of word is this? What class of word is this? Class of word. What part of speech is this? Verb. I don't want to believe you suffering from English. So class of word is also the same as part of speech. When we are even talking about present, past participle, we are talking about verbs. Okay. Okay. Yes. All right. So for words such as set, unlike words such as work, where we can have the past tense as worked, and the past participle as worked, the form of this verb remains the same across this boundary of inflection, across this boundary of forms. So the past tense of set will be what? Yes. And the past participle will still be what? Set. It does not change. But that doesn't mean inflection has not taken place. It has taken place. Rather, it is not visible to the eyes. So we have other examples like that. Put. All right, put. All right, you should write put. What do we have for the past tense of put and past participle? You have the word cast. You have the word broadcast. Broadcast. Split. All right, burst. You have the word frost. You have the word wet. In British English, really, but in American English, I think they have wet, wetted, wetted. Yes, but in British English, it is wet, wet, wet. So, under no condition should you add ed to any of these words. You can have splitted. Yes, you can have splitted. You can have busted. You can have wetted. You can have casted. You can have broadcasted. Yes. So the past and past participle of the word broadcast is what? Broadcast. So what are you going to have here, everyone? Everyone. Broadcast, broadcast, broadcast. Speed, speed, speed. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Short, short, short. Wet, wet, wet. Wet, wet, wet. That is what you are going to have, really. Right? What other possibilities do we have? Anyone? Any other example? Let's. All right. Let's. Let's. You can have lettered. What again? No, I don't want the chorus answer. Anyone? All right, you also have it in cuts. Cuts. So you can never have cut, cutted, cutted. Is that taken now? Is that taken? All right, we move to the fourth one, which is the derivational bound morpheme. All right. All right, for the case of read, it is still the same thing. It is read, read, read. So the only thing that changes there is the sound, but the letters remain. So we also put it under this category. So read, 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 read. So that is indicating the past and past participle of the verb read. So, and someone asked me the question, is this word read, unread, or unread? Eh? What did you say? Unread. Why not unread? All right, there is possibility for unread too. Yes, but when that serves as an adjective, it is pronounced unread. Are you with me? It is pronounced unread. So, but the present verb form of it is unread, unread, unread. So, changing from present to past and past participle. But when that word is read as an adjective, it is unread. I hope that is taken. All right, for derivational bound morpheme. Now, remember, I mentioned that inflectional bound morpheme talks about the concept of inflation, that something increases in appearance maybe in number, or in tense, or in degree, or in gender. From all of those things that we mentioned, you can see that the class remains. When we are dealing with verb and we have work, worked, worked, the class of that word remain verbs. Are you with me? Or what part of speech is this? Yes, in this sense, work, right? And even this is still verb. So it is verb. So it is class maintaining. Inflectional bound morphemes are class maintaining morphemes, meaning that they do not change the class of the word they are added to. Rather, they can change the tense, or change the number, or change the degree, or change the gender. But the derivational bound morpheme, just as the name implies, derivational, from the word derive. Say derive. It means to create a new word. To create new words. So what derivational bound morpheme does, or what derivational bound morphemes do, is either to change the meaning of a base word or change the class of a base word. So they are class changing morpheme, they are meaning changing morphemes. So what did I say? They are class what? Changing morpheme, and they are all what? Meaning changing morpheme. So for instance, derivational morpheme is telling us that when certain derivational endings or certain derivational prefix or prefixes are added to words, they either change the meaning of that word or change the class of that word. When we talk about the concept of class here now, in this class, we are talking about part of speech. Is that taken? Whether a derivational bound morpheme is changing noun to verb, or changing verb to noun, or changing verb to an adjective, or changing an adjective to an adverb. You can have your seat. All right, let's look at some. All right, what is the derivational bound morpheme? You can write. It is a form of bound morpheme that changes the meaning, or the class, changes the meaning and or the class of a base word. And all the class of the base word. All right. So, for instance, we can have examples of derivational morphemes, and they can exist in two different forms, mainly in two different forms. They can exist as a prefix, they exist as prefixes, or as what? Suffixes. When they are prefixes, they come before the word, they come before the base. For instance, the word mal, the prefix, this prefix, you can have on, you can have in, you can have this, you can have il. What other one? You can have mis, you can have ir. Which other form? You can have what? en. Yes. You can have in. You can have what? un. I said that. You can what? Have what? Able at the beginning. All right, ab. and so on. All right, let's illustrate these derivational prefixes in words in certain examples. All right, let's have examples. All right, my practice for the number one. My practice, practice, my practice. What again? Function, malfunction. Nutrition, malnutrition. All right, next, UN. Expected, unexpected. I am possible, impossible. Complete, incomplete. Normal, abnormal. In each of these words, listen up. In each of these words, the moment these prefixes are added to a base, the meaning do not remain the same. True or false? You can tell me the meaning of normal is the same as the meaning of abnormal. Unlike what you have in inflectional bound morpheme, where you have work and you have worked, it's still verb, it's still saying the same thing. The only thing that has changed is just the tense. Are we together, please? All right. As suffixes come at the end of the root or at the end of the base. And possible ones are, you have Igbo. All right. You have ISM, ism. ION, ITY, I've written that. NESS, thank you, all right. Able, all right. AL, all right. You can even have LY too, right? You can have meant. All right, now listen up. These are inflectional bound morphemes serving as suffixes. So when these are also added at the end of, to the end of a word or to the end of a base or root, it changes the meaning or changes the class. For instance, if we have the word legal, what class of word is the word legal? What class of word is legal? Really? It is an adjective. That is an adjective. If we now have plus ITY, what are we going to have? Legality. That becomes a noun. So in this case, we can see an adjective becoming a noun by addition of this. Therefore, causing meaning changing and class changing. Right? In what word can we have this? Individual. Individualism. All right? Combat. Combatable. Say something. Conversion. Good. Goodness. Understand. Understandable. Nation. National. Happy. Happily. Govern. Government. All right, so you begin to wonder, what is the relevance of all of these things? What is the relevance of these to your overall knowledge of the English language? All right, the main purpose of derivational bound morpheme is that it can inform you or help you in forming the right antonyms of words. Are you with me? It can help you to form what? The right what? Antonym to some words, of some words. So the moment you have some prefixes added to a word, it gives you the opposite meaning of that word. All right. For instance, advantage becomes what? Possible. Proper. All right. We want to go now. We want to go. All right. Let me have you. So each of you is providing me with an example, and we end the class from there. We are done with morphemes. All right. All right. You should get prepared now. Everyone will taste it. Every one of you. Now listen, listen, listen. Now listen. She'll tell everyone there to keep short. The rule is this: whatever word is mentioned by someone must not be re-mentioned again. So if you speak and not speak loudly enough, you will stand up. Yes. And none of you here will escape it. All right. We start here. Let me have my piece. All right. Advantages, disadvantages. Oh yeah. If you don't know, you stand up. All right. Resistible, irresistible. All right. Up. Comment. No, the opposite meaning. Now, the one that gives you opposite meaning. I'm saying the function. Listen, I'm saying one basic function of derivational bound morpheme is that it helps you form the antonyms of a word, of certain words. Are you with me? And I said, like what? Proper. You said improper. Advantage, disadvantage. When all of these words are mentioned, when you put certain derivational bound morpheme, it forms directly the opposite of the words. That is what we are looking at. Please, let's have it quiet. Let's have it quiet. Right, I'm listening. Valuable. Invaluable. Well, invaluable is not like the opposite of valuable, okay? In fact, it's even saying something greater. But I will let that slide. Encourage, discourage. Courage and discourage. Ability, disability. Responsible, irresponsible. Expected, unexpected. Convenient, inconvenient. I hope you can hear what has been said so far. All right. Been to. Regular, irregular. Improper, proper, improper. Like and dislike. Discipline, indiscipline. Manage, mismanage.
Function.
All right. Function, malfunction. Justice and injustice. Nutrition, malnutrition. Please, can we have it quiet? Can we have it quiet? It baffles the mind that people at the front are the one making noise. It really baffles the mind. All right. Understanding is understanding. Stable, unstable, like Nigerian light. Correct, incorrect. Communicate, miscommunicate. Revocable, irrevocable. Management and mismanagement. In fact, give me one. Visible, invisible, somewhere. Definite, indefinite. Abigail. What did you say? Button and unbutton. All right. I don't know where you are taking me to. All right, let's hear from you. Yes. Intentional, unintentional. Yellow, let me hear from you. Don't look back. Yes, never say no. You. Yes. Lead and mislead. Only mature, immature. Taiwo, right? Yes. Kenny. All right, Kenny, talk. Conduct and misconduct. Isaiah. You too. Individual, non-individual. All right. Show. Nourished, malnourished. All right. Bright. Resistance and inresistance. All right. Volunteers now. Wura. Is Wura here? All right, guy, let me hear from you. Natural, supernatural. Right, my friend. All of you on that row. All of you on that row. All right. Please, let's have it quiet, please. Just pronounce the word. What did it say? What did it say? Lead and unlead. Lead and unlead. All right, my friend. Please, let's have it quiet. Important, unimportant. All right, next. Treat, maltreat. All right, treat, maltreat. All right, let me have you there. The all of you in this row. Starting with you. Yes, you. Illiterate, illiterate. Believable, unbelievable. Radical or irradical. Logical, illogical. All right, very good. All right, let's have questions. For what we've done so far, questions. All right, ask your question. Let me get it. All right. All right, question, please. I want to entertain questions. All right, questions. Quiet. Isaiah, stand up. You're disturbing my peace. You should know and do better.
What is the difference between a morpheme and
The difference between what? Morpheme. The difference between morpheme and syntax. They are too far away. They are too far away. The difference between morpheme and syntax. In what sense? Or as element in grammar. Alright. So when we talk about syntax, syntax is a branch of linguistics. Are you with me? The same way you can have branches of medicine or different aspects of science. Are you with me? So, of every language is expected to have the aspect of phoneme and phonology. The aspect that deals with the sound. Are you with me? The study of human sound and the system of sound in every given language. Yoruba language has its own phoneme and phonology. Did I say phoneme? No. Phonetics. Sorry. Phonetics. Phonetics and phonology. Phonetics has to do with the study of human language. And phonology is now the study of the system of sound in human language, how sounds work. Above this is the study of the morphology, which is an aspect of language that deals with how words are created and how new words are formed. A clue of that is what we did in morphemes. Are you with me? So morpheme is an element or a topic within the scope of morphology. Morphology has to do with the study of words, how words are created, reduplication in English. Reduplication. That is, when you reduplicate words, the words are doubled to give a new word. In Yoruba, for instance, we have. So this is the aspect of language that sees to that. Are you with me? In English, we have portmanteau words, and which are words created from two independent words. For instance, if you can have words such as brunch as being a merge of breakfast and lunch. Are you with me? So for someone who has not eaten the whole morning and is now eating the morning food with the afternoon food, that person is believed not to be eating lunch. Okay? Rather, the person is eating what? Brunch. And that is the combination of breakfast and lunch. The same thing, the word motel, which is taken from motor and hotel. Something like that. These are word creation or word formation processes. And that is what morphology is talking about. So above that, it talks about syntax. No, it talks about semantics. And semantics talks about the meaning in words, meaning in sentences. And after that is when you now have syntax. And syntax is talking about how words are combined to form meaningful sentences. Because not all sentences are meaningful. Not all. A sentence can be syntactically correct, but semantically wrong. That is, a sentence can satisfy the requirement of syntax and not satisfy the requirement of semantics. If, for instance, we have the cat drove the cat, the idea itself is an abstract entity. We are never told if it has color. But you already said colorless grain ideas. How do you attribute color to an abstract entity? Something that is not visible to the eyes. And if at all ideas do sleep or do have color, has anyone ever slept furiously? Because sleep is a state of unconsciousness. You don't even know what you are doing. So no one sleeps furiously. So that is now saying that why semantics deals with meaning in words and sentences. Syntax has to do with how words are arranged. Are you with me? To form meaningful word utterances. And that is why if you have the man in English, the syntax of English language is saying that a determiner must come before noun and not a noun before a determiner. And of course, the case is different in Yoruba syntax. In Yoruba syntax, you have a noun coming before a determiner. So if you are going to make transliteration of this to Yoruba, for instance, you are going to have no or kori, which will not make sense in Yoruba language. But to have a meaningful utterance here, you have to say okori no. So now is coming before a determiner in Yoruba, whereas determiner is coming before now. That is what syntax is talking about. And no two language have the same syntax in all ramification. So morpheme, for instance, is just an aspect of morphology, and it is part of the building blocks of syntax too. Is that taken? Morpheme is part of the building blocks of syntax. All right. So questions? Any other questions? All right. So tomorrow we are going to continue with words and types of words. Right. Have a nice day.